Hello students, hope you all are doing great. I'm Achal Chaudhary, working as an assistant professor in St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. Today, I'm sharing a lecture on principles of management to help you with your exams. So, first of all, let's start with the benefits of this video. Why you should watch this video? Well, let's start with the subject content. It includes management, its functions, process, planning, decision making, organizing, and coordinating, which will help you throughout your career, whether you want to pursue your business, you want to go for a job, further studies, anything. It will benefit you lifelong. So, in talking about the topics, so today we will be covering organization, its features, principles, classification of organization, process, and departmentation in detail. Also, in between and after the video, I will be discussing the important points which will help you in your exams. And we will also cover some real life examples for your better understanding, which will be based on your previous industrial visits and knowledge. So first of all, let's start with the organization understanding. What exactly organization is? Basically, if we talk in a layman language, it is a organize to organize something, right? Basically, organization is defined as the form of human association for attaining common objectives, or we can say that it is a social unit which is deliberately constructed and reconstructed to seek specific goals. Students, organization basically it's an structural framework of duties and responsibilities which are performed by the personnel to achieve some business goals. So here I am concluding that it is a process of identifying and grouping of work to be performed to achieve organizational goals. So one thing students I want to say, before running to the next slide, I request you all to all the students to note down the important points so that it will help you in your exams. Now coming to the feature of organization. First, achievement of common objective. Objective means a goal of any organization. So as we all know that every organization has its own goal or objective. So for achieving it, organization clearly defines its objective to the employees so that they can work in the same manner to achieve that objective, right? Next is your division of work. Division of work means dividing the work to a person, right? So here I'll take the example of Yakult industry. There we have seen that every person was involved in different activities according to their skills, by the help of which they were able to achieve their organizational goals so efficiently. So in the same way, if we decide to divide the work accordingly, it ensures the achievement of organizational goals. Next is your coordination. Coordination means to coordinate the activities so that everyone knows what they are doing exactly. So there are various functions in an organization that depends upon one another. So if we want to avoid duplication of work and want to work in a harmonizing way, then there should be a proper coordination. Next is cooperative relationship. This is very important in any organization because otherwise if there is no cooperative relationship in any organization, then there will be a conflicting situation which is not at all good for the organization. So the structure should be designed in a way that motivates people to perform their work together. Next is your well-defined authority and responsibility relationship. An organization consists of an various positions arranged in a hierarchy, which will clearly defines the line of communication and pattern of relationship. So next is your principles of organization. First is your principle of objective. The enterprise should set up in a common goal for the organization, because it is very mandatory that there should be some specific or common goal, so that all are aware, each and every person is aware of that objective and they can work accordingly to achieve that goal, right? Next is your principle of specialization. The organization should be set up in such a way that every individual should be assigned a duty according to his or her skills and qualifications, so that they can give their best, right? Next is your principle of authority and responsibility. First of all, let's understand what exactly is authority and responsibility is. So authority is the power, responsibility is the liability. So authority is the power to get the work done, and responsibility means a liability towards that work done, right? Authority can be delegated, but responsibility can't be delegated. Students, please mark this point. This is very important point that many times it has been asked in the short type of questions, like whether we can delegate the responsibility or we can delegate the authority. So any type of questions can be made up of this. So please mark it that authority can be delegated, but responsibility can't be delegated. Next is your span of control. Span of control means how many subordinates can be supervised by a supervisor. The number of subordinates should be such that the supervisor is able to control them, right? So, for example, if a supervisor is able to control a team of 5 members, and here we are giving him a team of 10 members or 12 members are allotted to him. So what will happen? It will impact their output. Then subordinate is so supervisor will not be able to give his best output, right? Next is your principle of unity of command. A person should be answerable to one boss only, because if there will be more than one boss, the employee will become confused, like whom he have to report the work. Like first of all, if take an example, let's take an example first. If I am working with the organization and I am working as an employee, so one of my boss came and say that you have to do a task A. Then in the same time, my another boss came and says that you have to do the task B first. So what will I do? I will get confused. Then in that situation, what will happen? I can't perform either duty, right? Now come to the classification of organization. Here we have two classifications. First is formal organization and the second is informal organization. Formal organization is a system of coordinated activities of a group of people working towards the common goal under authority and leadership, whereas informal organization refers to the informal relationship developed among the group of employees in an organization. These groups fulfill their needs of which are largely personal in nature by creating informal relationships. So, as the word signifies itself, under formal organization, the duties and responsibilities of each employee are well designed, whereas in informal organization, there is no such duties and responsibilities. Here, people get involved by themselves on the basis of their interests, views, and expectations. Students, here note down one thing: the difference between the two can be asked in exams under short type of questions. So clearly note down this question. Now comes to the process or steps of organizing, which are: first step is identifying the work. This is the first step to identify the work that has to be done by the organization. It will help to avoid miscommunication, overlapping of our responsibilities, and wastages of time and efforts. Second step in Second step is your grouping of work. In this step, similar tasks and activities are grouped together for the smooth functioning of the organization. Now, next step is the process of organizing is to establish the reporting relationships for all the individual employees of the company. So, a manager establishes the hierarchy of the organization. Now, next is your delegation of authority. Manager divides his work among the subordinates and gives them the responsibility to accomplish the respective tasks. Along with the responsibility, he also shares the authority. These two goes in parallel. Always. Authority and responsibility always goes in parallel. And last is your coordination. In last step, manager must ensure that all the activities carried out by the various employee and groups are well coordinated. Now, last topic of the day is your departmentation. Departmentation or departmentalization is the process of grouping the activities of an enterprise into several units for the purpose of administration at all levels. Or the process of organizing consists of dividing and grouping of the works to be done in an enterprise and assigning different duties and responsibilities to different people. Here basically it includes dividing the large organization functions into smaller units, into different departments so that coordination and controlling can be done easily. Needs for and importance of departmentation. First, it enables to avail the benefits of specialization. Second, it also helps in expansion and growth of the enterprise. Third is your departmentation enables each person to know the specific role which fixes the responsibilities of each and every employee. Fourth is your it also makes the appraisal task easily as we can measure the performance of each employee easily. Last is your when all the complex units are divided into smaller units, it makes the controlling work easy. Now next is your types of departmentation. Basically, types of departmentation are of five types. First is your on the basis of functions. Second is your on the basis of products. Third is your on the basis of tertiary. Fourth is your on the basis of customers. And last is on the basis of process and equipments. So first of all, let's discuss about the departmentation by functions. Here what exactly happens, like all the activities of an organization are divided among the functions which are related to the organization. Basically, these 4-5 functions which are mentioned here are the common ones. That is marketing, production, finance, personnel. These are kind of departments which are more or less happens or like existed in all and every organization. So here what happened that all the tasks are divided into each and every departments. So everything is covered up in all the four departments. So likewise the departmentation works goes on. Next is your departmentation by products. Here major products are organized as a separate department. Students, if you remember, we had an industrial visit in Palaji. There, we get to know that all the branches are having different manufacturing products. So they are not manufacturing all the products in the same branch. Likewise, where the number of products is large, the organization opt for this classification. Next is your departmentation by territory or geographical departmentation. Basically, it is especially useful to the large-scale enterprises whose activities are widely dispersed. For example, banks, insurance company, transport company, etc. follow this classification. Here, the activities are divided into different regions. This is your departmentation by customers. After considering the customer's demand, their shopping habits, we divide the departments accordingly. If customers like to purchase in a bulk, so that customer will be referred to the wholesale department. Same as the other customers will be divided into retail and export customers. First is your departmentation by process or equipment. Basically, in this, activities are grouped on the basis of production process involved or equipment used. This is generally used in manufacturing and distribution enterprises and at a lower level of the organization. There's one more classification which is extended one, that is departmentation by time and numbers. Under this method of departmentation, the activities are grouped on the basis of time of their performance. For instance, a factory operating 24 hours may have three departments for three shifts, one for the morning, second for the day, and the third for the night. That's all for the today, students. Hope you all are clear with the topics. As I said, here are the important questions related to today's topic. Please have a look and solve them. I hope you all are clear with today's topic. Please note down these questions. Thank you for your cooperation and for your interest. Stay tuned for more videos.